do hope you're all well, folks. This is the last one of the day. It's been a quiet day today. Right, I'm going to quickly do a channel review, a fellow YouTuber. Listen on, see what you think. It's only going to be 5-6 minutes long. I've had a gentleman message me over the last couple of days on a couple of occasions regarding a few videos I've put out. The videos were part of the, the YouTube and me. Well, that's where I put them in the playlist, to do with some YouTubers from that there Tenerife. And the YouTube and me tells people the YouTubers that I actually watch. I watch a few from Tenerife and a few from other places. Anyway, this gentleman has a bit of an interest in Tenerife because he goes there himself. I had heard of him before through somebody else, but I didn't know him. I'd never watched any of his content. And he'd been messaging over the last couple of days. Seems a really nice fellow. And he just dropped in the back of one of his messages yesterday, how do you feel like reviewing my channel? And I thought, yeah, I don't mind doing that. People don't tend to ask me, but if they want me to, I will. I think he probably already knows by watching my channel. I just tell the truth as I see it. Doesn't please everybody, but it's what I do. So I messaged him back. I said, yeah, I'll review it by all means. I won't review it until I've seen 2 or 3 of your videos. But just be aware, if I don't like it, I will say, you've asked me to do it. I'm going to do it now. If I don't like what I see, I won't be swayed by the fact that you've put some nice comments on my channel about other people. If I don't like your channel, I'm going to say it because that's the way I roll. So you've asked me. The genie's out the bottle now. I say it as I see it, whether it offends or not. Anyway, to that end, I watched one video of his yesterday, and I've watched another one today, so I've not watched the 3 or 4 I wanted to watch. They were both food reviews. This gentleman, I believe, lives in Edinburgh. His channel is called EDINBURGH HONEST Guide. Turns out his name's Michael, because I've just seen the About section, it has his name. He does mention it in the videos, but my memory's like a sieve and I'd already forgotten. I watched one video yesterday that he did in an Indian restaurant. I watched another one today that he's done in a Chinese restaurant. I watched the Chinese one all the way through. I watched the Indian one all the way through, but I kept skipping the odd minutes because I was watching it yesterday before I started to record, and I had a lot more recording to do yesterday, and daylight was beating me. It was getting late on. But I watched his first review yesterday and liked what I seen, and I watched another one today and liked it again. And I'll tell you what I like about the fellow. Right, his name is Michael. I think he's had his site for 3 or 4 years, I think he said. I might be wrong. He's a bigger YouTube channel than mine. He's got sort of 3 or 4 times the subscription I've got, so he's doing pretty well for himself, and good luck to him, and I can see why. He talks very, very eloquently. He talks reasonably slowly. You know where he's at, you know. Obviously, he's got a Scottish accent. I'm not Scottish. Many of us listening to this channel won't be, but you can understand everything he says. He's very clear in what he says. He's very honest in what he says. I like the way he does his reviews. I've only seen food reviews. I am going to watch more. I'm going to watch some more of his stuff because I like the fella. I like what I've seen up to now. He did a review yesterday about an Indian restaurant called Bobby's 3 in a place called Costa Adeque, which is, I think, a resort up from Playa de las Americas and 2 up from Los Cristianos, or it might be the other way about, I'm never so sure, although I visit all 3. Adeque is a place I normally stay when I go to Tenerife, so I know the place well, and I think I've passed the restaurant before he's mentioned, but I've never been in. Did a review yesterday because he says it's getting 5 stars on TripAdvisor and all these places, Trustpilot, and he wanted to go. Sorry, he didn't do it yesterday. I watched it yesterday. It was done 6 months ago, and he actually says at the start of the review, it's the first food review. I can't say it. It's the first food review he's ever done, and I thought, well, for a first, he did really, really well. I liked everything he said. I liked the way he presented. I think his girlfriend was with him, or partner. I think she was filming him. And what I liked more about it than anything else was, as I say, he showed me everything. He had give you a real good look at the menu. It focused in on it really well, so you could see what was on the menu. He taught you through every dish he had, and he wasn't sensationalising in any way, shape, or form. He wasn't going over the top about how great things were. He wasn't going over the top about how bad things were. He was just telling you the honest truth as he saw it, and I believed in everything he said. And I liked everything he said. I know there's one food reviewer out there that absolutely every food review he does, he's fantastic. Everything he does is fantastic. He knows all about food and everything's brilliant. And he pulls faces as he eats the food, and all this palaver. He's smiling as he eats, as there's only him knows how great. And I find that pretty false. I like it when a reviewer gives an honest assessment and an honest review, but with no frills, no bits added on. You know, no. I think bells and, not belts and braces, not bells and, you know what I'm on about anyway. I just like what he did anyway. Anyway, he did this review, went through the whole meal, 2 or 3 courses, then went outside, let you know what he'd paid and how he'd paid and whatever else. And he said something that I thought was particularly good. He said, and if you go to this place and you book online, there's a 30% discount. I thought, 30%? That's a hell of a lot. That's a big discount that for just booking online. And I thought, are they sticking the boot in to start with and charging you the earth? But he'd already said in his review that the prices were very, very, very reasonable there. But everyone raves about the food. Anyway, he showed the bill, and I think him and his other half, they both had a starter, both had a main course. He'd had a couple of beers. I think she'd had a Coke of some sort. And it came to about €32. And I thought, oh my God, how cheap is that? For like sort of 2 starters, 2 main courses and whatever else. And all the old trimmings like your rice, your poppadoms, the naan bread and whatever. I thought, that's fantastic. But because it's near where I stay, because I've not been before, and because the price is fantastic and he liked it, I thought, I'm going to go there and try it out. And that to me is the test of any YouTuber that does a food review. If I like what he said and believe what or she has said, and I buy into what they're telling me, and I then go there, they've done their job. And in this instance, he has. Right, takes me to today's review. Sees another review just today before I started recording in a place called Wok. I think that was in Playa de las Americas. He said it's a Chinese. He said, and I'm going here because it's got the worst reviews on Trustpilot and everywhere else. Anyway, he reviewed that. Again, I liked everything he said. He would tell you the things that were awful, and it was plenty. But he wasn't going over the top about how awful they were. He wasn't blowing things up. He did say, although everyone's calling all the food, there was a couple of dishes that weren't bad, and he went through all of that. He's shown things like broken toilets and whatever, which is good to see when you're eating somewhere. You want to know, you're not eating from the toilet, but you want to know places are well kept, and this place wasn't. He highlighted and shown how some of the staff were rude and not very nice with people, as in, I think on 2 occasions he's talking to the staff, and they're halfway through the talk, and they just walk off on him. They don't excuse themselves, you just walk off. And he says, I've never had that before. And I knew where he was coming from. But what I appreciated more about the video than anything else was the fact that he went there after all the bad reviews he'd read. Because I, for one, if I was doing food reviews, I don't do them, but even if I did, I would not go there. He read some of the reviews back, and me read them, I think I'm not going to eat there. Absolutely no way am I going to eat there. I couldn't eat some of that. Absolutely every other dog is telling me he's crap. So he's got a stronger stomach than me, and he's braver than me. And he did it for us folks, us viewers. But I thought, no, it's another good review. Now, I know he does a lot around Edinburgh. I've only been there once, but I really enjoyed it. Does a fair bit around London, and a lot in Tenerife. And I thought, right, I'm going to watch another couple of his videos in the next week or so and familiarise myself with his channel. And if his travel stuff is as good as his food stuff, he's somebody that I'm going to be watching from time to time because, as I say, I liked what I've seen. So, Michael, that's a very quick review based on just 2 videos I've seen. But as I say, my old son, I liked them both, I really did. And you've definitely got Bobby's 3, a new customer, in myself and the other half. We will be venturing in there the next time I go to Tenerife. And if it's as good as you say, we may go in more than once. So thank you very much for that. Hope you enjoyed the review. You won't have disliked it because I've said nothing bad. Luckily for you, there's nothing bad to say because had there been, I would have said it. Don't you worry about that, my old son. So, it's Edinburgh Honest Guide, folks. If you want to have a look at it, see what you think. Have a look at the Bobby's 3 review we did, and then have a look at the one in Wok. It turned my stomach, the old Wok. I thought, no, I'm not going to be eating in there at all. Not now, not in the future, not ever.